we had chemistry. We had something built.
Right.
We had the Nova boys, and I like Julius Randle. I don't think Cat's that much better than him. A healthy Julius Randle, he's on par with Cat. So I don't think it was that great of a trade for us. Like, I don't think we gained much from it.
You gained height, and that's what you guys needed.
Julius Randle's like an inch too shorter.
Oh, he's like 6'8". Cat's like 7'1".
I don't know.
I know as a Nuggets fan, I'm happy Cat's gone. I'll tell you that.
Why?
Yeah, that dude gave Jokic buckets, bro. Like, effortlessly every time. It was annoying.
You know, it could be sitting here in February like, oh yeah, Knicks are cool, and I'm so glad we got Cat. But right now, I'm probably just sad because I really like that Knicks team, and I like
the Nova boys, man.
Yeah, just
you saw that argument between Dante and Jalen's dad.
Yeah,
the beef.
It was brewing.
I feel like it was brewing because he's like, you traded me, you bitch. But I just liked the chemistry they had, and they brought an excitement to New York that we haven't seen in a while. And so I was just sad to see it broken up before it really seemed to get a chance to go.
To me, I think, like, New York fans, and, like, I could kind of say the same for, like, fans in Boston, they, like, thrive for that player that's, like, a dog. And that's why they love Julius Randle so much. It's like he poured his heart onto the court.
He gave him a thumbs down.
But I think Karl Anthony Towns, I will say this, as a Celtics fan, I think the Celtics are the standard, and I think the Knicks are trying to meet that standard of having a big man that can shoot threes. I think that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to meet that standard that Boston created from last year.
Yeah. Honestly, I think one of the things that's going to hold us back is Mitchell Robinson still not being healthy.
Yeah.
If we had Mitchell Robinson and Cat, I think we would like
together, like starting.
Maybe. No, I think I would have Mitch come off the bench, but because he came off the bench before, and he comes in and he's like he keeps the fire going because he's one of the best blockers, and he gets rebounds like crazy.
Yeah, he's a great rebounder.
Who is running power? Is that Bridges?
That's what's confusing to me. I just don't know what the Knicks lineup is.
I was gonna say I don't know what like their official lineup.
I think Josh Hart is gonna have to come off the bench for that team.
I used to think that when Dante was there, but now who's starting over?
You got Jalen, Cat, Bridges, and then you throw Josh Hart in there. That's like you're at the same thing. You're at three players at 6'4", 6'3". Like
hey, Bridges is tall, dude. He's like 6'9".
He's not 6'9". I would say he's like 6'5".
Oh, OG.
Oh,
OG,
yeah.
That's right.
I do like OG, but sometimes he gives up on plays a lot.
Yeah.
Like, if they, like, get a step on him, he's like, oh, well, I'm beat. And he'll just, like, kind of let him go.
But you think OG as a power forward would be, like, effective?
I thought Bridges was playing power forward. OG was playing, like, small forward.
I think OG's taller than Bridges.
Is he?
OG's like 6'9". I swear.
It says Bridges 6'6".
Yeah, Bridges is.
Yeah, so I'm guessing it'll be Brunson.
OG 6'7".
Ooh, I don't know then. I'd probably guess
run a small ball lineup then.
I'm guessing it's gonna be Brunson, Hart, Bridges, Anunoby, Cat.
That's what ESPN says your starting lineup is.
Okay.
Hart 6'4".
Small
That's
lineup, man.
small, yeah. That's
Jalen Brunson 6'2". On paper. I mean, he's not. He's like an inch taller than Trey.
It's cold though. You were talking about dogs, man.
Plays
Jalen Brunson's a dog.
He is, man.
Plays like
I
Trae
love
Young.
Jalen Brunson.
He does not play like Trae Young.
Him, Shea, and Jalen Brunson all piss me off.
Why? He does not play like Trae Young. Trae Young's like shoot the ball from freaking half court.
Yeah,
like,
he doesn't drive. Brunson drives most of the
majority
time.
Y'all sleeping on Trey, bro.
Dude, a majority of Brunson's shots are actually mid-rangers. Like, that's like his highest percentage shot are like mid-rangers.
It's nice. It's fun for him.
Yeah.
I mean,
foul baiting offense.
Oh my gosh, I hate that foul baiting.
It is. If I drive fast,
showed you the statistics of everyone who had more free throws than him, regular season and playoffs.
And it wasn't many.
Okay, playoffs is gonna be less.
He's like top 3.
No, he was 20. He was like 20th in the regular season, and then the playoffs he was like 8th.
Oh,
But that's
pull this up
because
right
there's
now.
not a lot more. There's a lot less players. Number 1 was Joel Embiid, of course.
Yeah, it's always Joel.
Yeah, but at least Joel's in the post. He's supposed to be getting fouled.
But he
Brunson
doesn't.
drives all the time.
But he doesn't get fouled. He freaking gets touched and he's like freaking flying on the floor.
And that's another thing I want to talk about. I hate that all these people are bitching about the 65 game rule. Play. You should be playing basketball. You're paid millions of dollars to play the game, and you're telling me you can't play, 3/4 of your games? Like, that's crazy.
That's good, because I actually pulled up an article for this. He is most likely going to be limited this year to back-to-backs, where he's not most likely going to be playing back-to-backs this year.
He said himself he will not be playing back-to-backs. I'm like, dude.
They're trying to get him more ready for the playoffs because they feel like they play him too much in the regular season, where he's gassed. Apparently, he's dropped 15 pounds and added muscle, so he won't be playing back-to-backs most likely this year.
12, by the way.
Huh?
12.
See, and wins the... Another thing is, like, he ducks...
Shea is number 1, I'm assuming.
No, Shea's third.
He's the foul-baiting king.
I feel like Embiid ducks all his toughest competition. Like, he hasn't played at Ball Arena in years. He hasn't played MSG in the regular season in years. It's like, when he knows it's going to be a tough fan base or something, he, like, won't go.
And you know what I never understand, too, is, like, he's always wanting to work out with players in the East in the off season. Like, him and Jason Tatum are, like, basically workout buddies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, why would you want to work out with your
competition.
biggest rival? And, like, your rival is learning how you can dominate.
It's the standard LeBron said.
Huh?
It's the standard LeBron said.
What did he say?
He was always working out like Paul George and Kevin Durant and all
Yeah.
those guys. But 12th and 4th, by the way.
Okay.
That's high. What are you talking
For the
about?
playoffs, that's not that high for a guy who has the ball 70% of the time.
Yes, it is.
No.
What do you mean, no?
Even as him being 4th, it was like a huge gap between him and Embiid.
What did you say Shea was? The king of...
Foul baiting.
And-
Shea is like in my opinion, he's like the dude that he's like, his logo of his shoe should be a free throw. Like, I'm not exactly.
And Jalen Brunson attempted more than him in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
That's because OKC sucked in the playoffs.
What are you talking about? They went to the second round just like y'all did.
But they swept
Yeah, we went
round 1 against.
I'm
the
talking
Pelicans.
attempts per game, not just attempts.
Mm.
And he still had more free throw attempts. Jalen Brunson does the same shit. That's all I'm saying.
No, he just drives more.
No, he just drives past you, then jumps back into you more. That's what he does. He Patty Mills it.
Patty Mills in the Olympics. The best basketball player of all time.
I'm starting to think this thing ain't gonna turn off. Of course it will once I stop getting up. But.
We'll do one more thing with the GM survey. What would you guys rather do? Who will win the MVP next year? Or if you were to start a franchise today, who would be the player that you would want?
Let's do both real quick.
You want to do both?
Let's do both.
Kia MVP, number 1. Foul baiting. Ray Alexander. SGA. I love SGA. I think he's one of my favorite players. But he is like one of the worst players when it comes to foul baiting.
Agreed.
Number 2, Luka Doncic at 30%.
That's, if we're picking, I think I'm picking Luka probably.
Number 3, and number 3, they're all tied. Joel Embiid at 7%, Jokic at 7%, and Tatum at 7%.
So, the biggest reason I'm not picking Jokic again is because I don't think the voting is biased.
Oh,
And I don't think they want to give him another one.
He'd have to have like a 50-point triple-double season.
Right.
Like,
I agree. Yeah.
Because I think he got robbed of.
Last year, yeah.
Yeah.
Like the year before, yeah. 100%.
But that's again goes back to the 65 game thing where I was like, oh, if Embiid played 65 game, or if the 65 game rule didn't, I feel like playing and being there for your team makes you more valuable, so that should
For
count.
sure. Yeah.
But
Yeah, I think.
But that's why I think Luka. If Luka plays as good as he did last year, or maybe slightly better, I think he'll get it.
The surprising thing to me is like I'm honestly surprised that Luka hasn't won an MVP yet. Like I'm surprised he hasn't. Dude, his season last year, like I'm surprised he didn't win MVP last year over Jokic.
They were like the 6th seed, weren't they?
I think
6th
that's
seed, but after that trade happened with Kyrie, they were the number 1 team in the NBA. After that trade, they became the number 1 team next to Boston as like statistically the best team in the NBA. So like he finally had a piece that gelled with him.
Wait, after what trade?
With Kyrie going to the Mavericks.
That was like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
Oh, no, not that one. My bad. Yeah, that was 2 seasons ago. When
They got Gafford and was it Derrick
Patrick Washington
PJ Washington.
PJ Washington, yeah, PJ.
Yeah, they were
after
on fire
that
for a little bit.
After that, they became the number 1 team in the NBA. But to average 35 points and almost a triple double, still at 35 points and still not win an MVP, to me, it's like actually very surprising that he even didn't win an MVP. But I'll always give Jokic his props. I always think Jokic is an MVP in this league.
See, because I feel like a lot of Jokic's stats go beyond just like the big numbers everybody looks at.
Right.
Like
his IQ.
Yeah, you talk about like how much the ball's in his hand and how least amount he like turns the ball over, and like his percentage of like if he has a touch, how much they score off of when he has a touch and stuff like that.
Right.
People don't look at all that type of stuff.
For sure.
Which definitely matters.
Yeah, and I'll always be on Jokic's side too. Like if he wins MVP, and like, I'm fine with it because I know he's the best player in the NBA. And then if he doesn't win it, I just know it's political. And I know Joel Embiid cried so much, and so much in the Sixers organization with Doc cried so much to get Joel Embiid a MVP. Like it was bound to happen. But I think next year I think it'll be Luka. I don't think Shea will get it. I think just off of politics, I think Luka will get it.
Yeah, I would say my top 2 is probably Luka or Ant.
Yeah.
My only thing about Luka and Shea is,
They're foul baiters.
A little bit. But they both, like, do you think if they're not top 3 in the West, they'll still win it? Like if they're 4 or 5 or 6?
If OKC or Dallas are not top 5, top 3, that they'll win the whole thing.
If they'll win the MVP. Because like I think the Thunder won't have the best record in the West, but that's just me. A lot of people think they will, so he technically would be underwhelming if they're like 4 or 5.
Sure. That's a good thought. I don't know.
Why is Tatum never in MVP talk?
That's what I was about to say.
I
think Tatum, Ja, and Wemby could sneak something.
Ja could be a sleeper, yeah, so could Wemby. With Chris Paul throwing Wemby the ball.
Ja could be a sleeper. I think they're gonna need to see more consistency with his like behavior before they make that decision of if he's gonna be an MVP. Because I truly believe that the MVP voting is very political.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Tatum will never win an MVP in my opinion because he had so much success early on in his career that he set up to a standard of like you've been to 8.
Like he was saying about Jokic, like he'd have to do some crazy numbers to be considered.
Like you have been to 6 conference finals and 2 finals, like in your 8-year career, like. You have to do something crazy to win MVP. I mean, he's the only Celtic in NBA history in Celtic history to average 30 points. And he still hasn't won MVP. So it's just like I don't think he'll never be in the conversation at MVP. Personally, he'll have to do some crazy stuff.
These were his averages last year.
Last year, yeah, that was his averages last year.
I'll say he averages 37 and 7. He's got my vote.
Check his averages.
Bro,
from
if you average
2 years.
37 points, man.
No, 37 and 7.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was gonna say 37. Holy shit.
Freaking James Harden over here. But I'm gonna go Luka probably. What about you, Jordan?
Going Tatum.
Tatum. Okay, you're going with the.
Do you think if you have a ring or a couple rings, do you think as a player you would want an MVP more than another ring, or is it always the ring?
I think the ring is like what solidifies your legacy. I think.
I don't know though, because people throw the MVP around a lot.
So 34 and 8. That's what let's just round it up. 35 and 9. That's what he averaged last year or 2 years ago.
That's pretty good.
saying, man.
But he didn't even
37 and
finish.
7,
Yeah.
and they're the 1 seed. I think it's his.
Right.
Okay.
Especially after this year, they took his Finals MVP. They binged him for Bron James.
Yeah.
Bron.
I'm
James.
excited. I'm excited for this year. I think it gave us more energy. I think it gave us a bigger chip on our shoulder.
The
that we've
East
already
is.
got.
I think the East isn't still quite as good as the West, but it's getting there. It's getting some
I think
good teams in there.
I think my favorite, like one of my favorite players in the East, and in the NBA is Paulo. I love Paulo.
Underrated.
Yeah.
Dude, Paulo is like, he reminds me of like an 18-year-old LeBron when he came in the league. He's built like a grown ass man. Like when he was 19 coming in the league.
You're talking me out.
But he came into the league.
All right, but even you got to admit you didn't like hate LeBron back then. You did.
Everyone said he was better than Melo. I was like, what are you talking about?
That's fair.
I mean, the rookie of the year argument. Well, that'll go down in my opinion. Yes.
That's the worst thing ever. How about Chris Webber? Can we say he's like Chris Webber, Paulo?
I'll say no. He's like LeBron, man. At 19, was 6'9", 250. It's freaking crazy. If you were to start a franchise today, who would it be? And sign any player.
I seen that one.
Number 1, obviously Wemby.
Obviously, he says.
I
The
mean,
alien, man.
if you want age and longevity wise, it's kind of.
It says starting.
Tied at 2,
I want to be the best.
Shea and Jokic. And then number 4 is Luka.
Really.
Nice. Jason Tatum disrespected again.
That is kind of crazy. I would say.
What are they going to say now? He's got his ring.
So the only thing with Jokic is he's like almost 30.
He's 29, yeah.
I don't care.
I mean, neither do I. I would probably still pick him, or Ant, or Luka.
My only thing about Jokic is, and I think this is overblown a lot, but how long do you want to play basketball? You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I think Jokic should play another 10 years if he wants.
It all boils down to, does he want that? What does he want to do? Because it does seem like sometimes he's tired of playing, but then it's like he comes back the next year seeming just as hungry. But then the playoffs come around and he kind of seems tired again.
He's tired because he's going 1-on-3 against 3 of the best centers in the
Yeah,
league.
that's true. That's true.
That's why I'm glad Cat's gone. Shoot, please have Julius Randle guard Jokic.
Better, yeah, DiVincenzo.
But I would say my top 3 would be Jokic, Luka, or Ant.
Ant? You're throwing Ant in there?
Yeah.
Okay. I think Ant, to me, still hasn't... Like, Ant is so great. I just don't think he has shown me enough to
Like
carry a
leadership.
franchise.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's on a nice team, bro. Like,
he's
no
on
one's
a
talking
squad,
about his team.
yeah.
But I get what Matt's saying. Like, he doesn't have a lot of leadership qualities.
Like, he hasn't gained that yet. He's still 22.
Yeah.
Like, it's going to take time.
And he's still, like, you know, he does a lot of trash talking and, like...
If he ever leads, I feel like it's going to be like a D-Wade style.
That's, yeah.
And I
Like,
think...
low-key throw you under the bus style.
I think he's going to have to take care of his health more, too. Like, watching the starting 5 and everything. He's just like, yeah, I know I got to take care of my health, but, like, his favorite snacks are, like, hot fries. And then, like, he's just, like... Because Anthony Edwards is in the starting 5 show, and he's just, like, eating. I know. What the hell is this?
All right. What's this called again?
Take set.
Oh, it's Hoops and Holla.
Hoops.
Oh,
and
is that
Holla.
what we're going?
I like that. That
Oh.
actually is dope. I like that.
Hoop and holla, take 2.
Anyway.
So if you were to start a franchise, you're picking Wemby, huh?
Wemby all day, yeah.
That all got picked up. We can move on.
Oh,
Well, he was
moving
like, right when he was about to talk about that is when you said it.
on? We'll just cut that out.
Good cliffhanger.
Yeah, good cliffhanger. 2 more things I wanted to kind of go over. DeMarcus Cousins, he was on a podcast the other day. His article that I read started off with DeMarcus Cousins questioning Lakers are serious after drafting Bronny James. He says, I don't really think the Lakers are serious anymore. I love everything that LeBron stands for as far as the Lakers actually competing. I don't know. I take that as a sign that they aren't really serious. So he's basically saying that basically the Lakers are LA and they're turning into Hollywood. It's all becoming this whole script, and that the Lakers really aren't competing anymore. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, what about Connect dropping third?
Connect, I think it might be the steal of the draft as of now, but I think Bronny might be number one for steal of the draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Stole
first
money from the Lakers.
Yeah, the first reverse steal.
Yeah. He stole.
Bank. Straight robbery, but yeah.
I mean, you can't deny that the only reason they drafted him was to get him and LeBron on the same team.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's going to get the Lakers so much views this year.
Right.
It's a nice picture.
Yeah.
You seen that picture where LeBron went down to guard somebody full court press? And then the guy just ran right past him, and then LeBron just like jogged back. And the only reason he did that was so they could get a picture of LeBron and Bronny on the court together
really?
at the same time.
Oh my god.
No, I didn't see that. It's so freaking funny. I was laughing. I saw one meme, and it was just like the picture of Jason Tatum like throwing up his son after they won the championship. It was like the 2025 NBA championship picture, and it's LeBron throwing up Bronny.
Like nowadays, Bronny.
He was like, "We did it, Papa."
That was it.
Oh
my
my
god.
goodness.
I swear, if the Lakers do win the chip, that's some fishy stuff right there.
Yeah.
Dude, if they even make the in-season tournament, I'd be pissed.
I personally think the reason why the Lakers even won the in-season tournament was so that they can have a trophy or something named after LeBron. I mean, everything is named after NBA
That's a
legends.
good point.
I think that they truly had the Lakers win.
Wasn't he the in-season MVP or whatever?
Yeah, he was the in-season MVP, and they won it. So it was just like, and then he's just hyping it up like, ain't no better time than being the first. Like, you're always gonna be remembered as the first, and blah blah blah. So like, I always kind of looked at from outside in like, they're just making a trophy out of LeBron right here. Like, I just saw the LeBron trophy be created. And, like, they have the Larry Bird trophy.
I didn't even think about that.
Till the day I die, I'm gonna say it's the Anthony Davis trophy then, man.
Dude, Anthony Davis was a baller in the in-season tournament.
What did he do? Put up like 20-20 in the final game and no one talks about it?
You know, I don't think I've ever seen someone more accepting of playing the Robin role than Anthony Davis, though. Like, he's just like, whatever, I don't care. I'm getting money and rings. Fuck it.
Ring.
Yes, ring.
Yeah. I mean, after being in a poverty franchise like freaking New Orleans,
I mean,
I would want to
that's
be
another-
anywhere else.
Might be another thing we could blame on the Saints medical staff.
Yeah.
Anthony Davis's injuries.
Well, his ACL to it. Yeah, he hasn't really had a serious injury since. Yeah.
Boogie too. That's when he went down.
Man,
As soon as he got to New Orleans.
that's honestly kind of telling. Brandon Ingram too. He's been a lot more injury prone since going there.
CJ McCollum,
Yeah.
didn't he like break his back? Or
Yeah,
something?
some shit. Dude, it was funny. I was playing not this year's 2K, but the 2K the year before, and like I went up and met him in the city, and it like literally that same night is when that injury happened, and I was like, damn, is I the reason? Speaking of that, can we talk about 2K's downfall for a second? God.
Yeah, absolutely.
From one of the like most exciting like game releases every year to like everyone like, fuck it, I ain't buying it.
Yeah.
I like where 2K's at.
You bought the new one?
No.
Have you?
No. So how do you like it if you didn't even buy it?
I've played it.
The city is ass.
But that's the thing. I don't
But
play
it's
2K
all,
for
isn't the city all like
Okay.
2K14 again? Didn't they bring back all the 2K14 cities?
They condensed it a little bit because everyone hated the giant city, but now did you see they're adding a paid DLC like superhero mode or something? Like where it's like
I
rocket
think I
ball
did
kind of.
see that.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
buy it though. I don't buy 2K for that.
Why do you buy it just
For
to
my
do the same
career.
thing you do every
I
year?
play it for my career, for franchise, for.
That's the same thing they have every year.
All right, but that's why I buy sports games to play sport modes.
But you could just play last year's and update the roster if you're gonna do that.
Have you
Good.
played the new 2K?
Haven't even
You played it?
Yeah, I like it.
You do? I think it is definitely smoother this year. I wish they didn't get rid of the freaking shooting bar, though. I freaking hate it.
I hate the shooting bar.
It's like a freaking arrow, and you just like, it just goes up, and you just don't know where to release. You're like, what the heck? Like,
I like the days of the before time, you know, when they didn't even have the shot meter. Those are my favorite 2Ks.
yeah.
Where you had to like time it to like their release.
Yeah, looking at their wrist.
Yeah.
I was the man at that.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just like, I think I just got burnt out on sports games, to be honest. 'Cause
Yeah.
I haven't bought Madden in forever. I haven't bought 2K in I bought last year's 2K because I kind of got into the hype of it, but before that, I didn't buy one for a couple years.
I played the hell out of the college game this year, though.
That is, yeah, I did like NCAA. We need to get back on that franchise.
I know.
I still don't have it. I want to get it.
NCAA, it's
But I've
definitely the
heard
best.
it's so good.
It's the best football game in years.
We gotta-
for sure.
We gotta, like, mash these nights together. We'll do
Well-
an hour of the podcast, an hour in the
Man,
NCAA
if
game.
you do get NCAA, because Jordan built like this, built a whole conference with custom uniforms and everything, and we went to go like play it. You can't use them offline. You have to use them online.
What?
It's
Yeah,
so
it's
stupid.
So we have to create like an online league or
Yeah, so
something.
we can all like use them.
Yeah, probably get it maybe Black Friday if it's.
We would. Dusty said he had it, and then he wouldn't play with us, and then Wyatt has it. He won't play with us.
Colton has it also.
Is he gonna play?
He probably would. The only problem is when you got all those people, you know, somebody is not gonna play their game. Hold up the whole week.
Me?
Yeah,
Talking
you.
about the Madden leagues back in the day.
Even the 2K league we did last year. What happened after the first season, man?
We simmed through like half of the freaking thing, and I lost Michael Jordan. I like drafted for Michael Jordan, and then like out of nowhere, I freaking like lose Michael Jordan.
I don't
I'm
even
like,
remember playing that season.
dude, we simmed like 4 freaking seasons. I lost everybody. I was like had the best rebuild going, and you're like just sim it, and then I was just like all right, and then I lost everybody. I was like I had no money. I couldn't freaking buy it, dude. I couldn't even afford like freaking Cameron Payne. I like, couldn't afford him.
Where's all your money going if you lost?
Literally, I
everybody?
had no one to afford.
Coach is just pocketing it all.
I had like the best freaking team, man. I like built for that rebuild and couldn't afford anybody. I was like, I thought I turned luxury tax off.
It's weird. I was actually talking to Bree the other night about how we used to just freaking the old 2Ks just freaking play like 15 seasons and then just restart.
Yeah.
Shit's crazy.
Dude, that journey was so fun. I miss those times.
Yeah, that's
man.
really. Honestly,
Same with
like,
Madden. We would go so crazy on Madden. We'd have like the freaking drafts and.
And then we'd always
Right,
play
wait.
until like we stopped recognizing players and like, alright, it's time to restart.
It's been like 10 years, Matt. You can admit now that you force win to your team over mine when I was playing Metal Gear Solid that one time.
What? I haven't heard about this.
Bro, I'm trying to remember this. Like,
It was in a league we were all 3 in.
What,
And this is
that
when
Odell
Metal Gear
Beckham
Solid
Oh.
5 just came out. And,
How do you
trying
force
to-
win it though? Don't you have to approve it?
no, because we were all commissioners.
Because what happened? You like went on there and you had a loss.
Yeah, I went and
No.
checked, and the force win thing was set to on. So somebody did it, is all I'm saying. Wasn't me. I'm not going to force myself to lose.
it might have been me. I don't know. Like, it could have been. I don't freaking know.
That clip when we're all playing GTA, and I'm like, all right, because I gave him 0% because of that on the like cut.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, admit that you did it, and I'll give you 10%. And he was like, all right, fine, I did it. I was like, I ain't giving you shit.
Bro, them GTA nights. This GTA.
Freaking blowing up each other.
Traffic.
Traffic.
Oh yeah.
Bro, we'd spend like hours creating a freaking traffic jam.
Still watch hillbillies fighting outside their cars.
Bro, when we were watching that hillbilly fight and then you just turned and stabbed me in the stomach. That shit was
You can see I didn't mean to do that. I walked straight up to the guy, and he spins at a 180 and just stabs straight.
yeah, my guy's like, oh, dramatic.
Those were fun.
Well, in typical I do it fashion, we're a little off topic.
Yeah.
So that happens when there's a long cut in the middle.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But Boogie's sucking off LeBron a little bit too much for my liking in that comment.
Bro, he's saying that the Lakers aren't competing. He's saying that
No, but
it's
the
all
whole-
because of Bronny.
I've always loved LeBron and everything he stands for. Like, why you phrase it that way?
Dude, that's what pisses me off the most when I'm arguing with someone about like the GOAT debate, and they're like, "No scandals. He builds schools." I'm like, I'm talking about basketball. Dude. I don't know what you're talking about, but I don't give a shit that Michael Jordan had a gambling problem because on the court he was unstoppable. So,
and what's a scandal really? Mike gambled.
Hey,
yeah,
Oh,
it's his
Jesus.
money. Yeah.
hey, we have the video proof of LeBron. Ain't no party like a Diddy party.
Yeah, there's
Well,
that.
and like, how
There's
much does
China.
LeBron really have to do with these schools, or is he just slapping his name on that shit? And he's like, "Look
Just
what I
raising
did."
taxes in poverty-driven fucking communities. Like, God damn it, my taxes were raised.
All I know is his foundation pays for a lot of stuff, not LeBron.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Yeah.
Anyways, Boogie's sucking him off. Too hard for my liking.
Should we just name this the Fuck LeBron podcast?
You know what? Here's one thing though I thought about. LeBron gets he's like the president of he ain't loyal to the soil and all that stuff. Right?
Yeah.
Jumping around, just wanted to win. Deion Sanders did it first.
He was a chump.
Huh?
He said he was
Well,
a
no,
chump.
I'm just saying everyone calls Deion like the GOAT, but I'm just saying that man was jumping around from team to team. Deion did what Deion wanted to do, just like LeBron. That's all I'm saying.
Didn't we only
Yeah.
get like 2 rings out of that though?
Deion, he either has 2 or 3. But and yeah, that's another thing. He was jumping from stack team to stack team. I'm just saying, he's just like LeBron, but no one says it.
I don't like Deion, so I'm with you.
I like Deion.
I was never a big Deion fan.
You wouldn't take him right now on the Saints?
Right now with his missing toe.
I'm talking prime Deion right now.
Okay,
on
who
the Saints.
wouldn't take prime Deion on their team? But
I don't want
If
prime
I had the-
LeBron on my team.
if I had the option, like if it was like prime Deion, prime Darrell Revis, prime Chan Bailey, Deion's last on that list for me.
Really?
You're winning less then.
How?
You name 2 other guys who ain't got nothing to their name.
But they were more dominant at their position than Deion.
Deion got more interceptions than both of them.
Well, interceptions are cool, but that's
That
all
means
flat.
He's got
Yeah.
more touchdowns
That means
than
he
both
was
of them.
being thrown to a lot.
And?
He was getting cooked.
I mean, if I'm being thrown to more, I got more interceptions and more rings. What more do I need?
But he got, like he said though, he got rings because he was on stacked teams.
Champ was on some stacked teams.
Champ Bailey,
He was.
what stacked team?
That Broncos team.
With who? Jim Plummer? He wasn't there for the Peyton Manning era. Well, one year.
He was.
1
And they
year.
were very dominant.
Okay.
He did
No,
nothing.
he wasn't a part of that. He went to the Saints right after.
He was part of the one
Was it just that
When
first
the-
year?
when Baltimore
Was he?
beat
Damn,
Broncos in
I didn't know
overtime.
he was-
Because he was one of the
Yeah.
ones who got burned by Jacoby Jones.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Speaking of sucking off,
Hey, we said
players sucking off each other. I'm just kidding.
Where are you going?
Derrick Rose.
Oh, I was like, where are you going with that? That's how we can end it on the ending of a historic player's career.
We'll end it off of this. Yeah, Derrick Rose, maybe be a Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
I don't know if he will, but he was on Jeff Teague's podcast the other day.
Yeah.
I swear the weirdest guys get like the most popular podcasts. Like who would have told me Pat McAfee has like the biggest podcast in the world?
Signed by ESPN.
Yeah, and then Jeff Teague has like a super popular podcast.
Yeah. It's because he got some funny stories. Man.
Jeff Teague's hilarious.
He's got the funniest
Yeah.
stories. During that podcast, Derrick Rose says Michael Jordan wouldn't have been as legendary if he played basketball outside of Chicago. So I gotta talk for Chicago because a lot of people, when they talk about Chicago, they always mention bad stuff. Rose said in defense of former NBA home. So I gotta mix it up. MJ wouldn't be MJ if he wasn't. If he played anywhere else but Chicago for his pro career. He would have been a great player anywhere else but in Chicago. He became the Black Cat. He became MJ in Chicago just off the strength of the culture that's in Chicago. And it's the cultures everywhere. The basketball culture is just strong. And that expectation of like, all right, what you gonna do? That was Derrick Rose's comment.
Okay, you can't tell me if MJ went and did the same thing in New York that he wouldn't have been maybe bigger.
It's a great sentiment, but
Yeah.
I don't agree at all with that. How about Chicago wouldn't be Chicago without Michael Jordan?
I agree, 100%.
Look at the Bears, that '85 Bears. Nobody fucking talks about them outside of Bears fans.
Yeah.
You know what are we talking about here?
Well, I even think, was Clyde on the Blazers when MJ got drafted? Was he?
Mm-hmm. He's a year older.
Just imagine Clyde and MJ. Like, those two probably would have just dominated the league.
Oh, if Portland took him instead of Sam Bowie?
Yeah.
You hear about that other what if? Portland offered the number 2 pick and Clyde Drexler to the Rockets for the number 1 pick. No, for Ralph Sampson.
Mm-hmm.
So they could have had Hakeem, Michael Jordan, and Clyde Drexler all on the same team.
Jesus Christ.
If
they didn't win. I was gonna say they didn't win like 5 straight championships. That would have been insane.
Yeah, I don't agree with the comment that D Rose said. I think D Rose is
He's just being loyal
protecting
to Chicago, I guess.
his city. Like, I think MJ would have changed the NBA and made it global no matter where he went. And I still hate the argument that like MJ wasn't anybody without Scottie Pippen, because Scottie Pippen did have a big role in his career, but I mean, Scottie Pippen's first year, he averaged like 6 points a game, and that was Michael Jordan's first year out of the first round. So it was just like,
That's
he
what
never
I'm
made
saying,
it out
like,
of the first round without Scottie Pippen. I was like, well, Scottie Pippen averaged 6 points a game.
Who? Everyone like only uses that argument for Michael Jordan, that he was supposed to do it all by himself, win all these rings alone, when nobody else can do that. That's
Right.
not
It's
championships are a
impossible.
team accolade.
It is. And like, you even think, like, and I can't stand the LeBron argument with that either. It's just like MJ, and like Scottie Pippen, like, but could you imagine Michael Jordan with a player caliber of like Dwayne Wade or Kyrie
Anthony
Irving
Davis,
and Anthony
yeah.
Davis? Like, could you imagine a player with aside Michael Jordan? Like,
But that's like
those teams would have been just as dominant.
if LeBron, like, say he would have just stayed on the Heat, only ever won rings with Dwayne Wade, then the argument they would not have the Scottie Pippen argument to make. But it's the fact that LeBron went to a bunch of different teams and just so happened to get different All-Stars that they act like he didn't have All-Stars with him.
Right.
Oh, he only had Scottie Pippen to help him. Okay, LeBron had Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade.
We don't act like Kevin Love wasn't a scrub during that time either. That dude was a walking 2020.
I was
before
gonna
he
say,
got
don't tell
traded
that to
Cleveland.
Derrick. Derrick swears that Kevin Love was Scalbrini. He's like, Kevin Love was trash. I'm like, bro, you don't know about Kevin
Bro,
Love.
K Love was like
He was cold.
so cold, man.
I mean, like, not even to just mention those guys who were like in their prime. He also played with Rondo, Derrick Rose,
Ray Allen.
Ray Allen, Darren Williams. Now, I'm not saying these guys were like all in their primes. Ben Wallace, Shaq. But I'm like, the fact that he played with these guys. Mike can say he played with what, Robert Parrish?
Yeah.
After, you know,
Right.
that's who he called to Denver.
Steve Kerr.
Bill Cartwright.
Dennis Rodman after the league was trying to kick him out.
Right.
Like, what are we talking about here? Imagine LeBron took like a Antonio Brown-like player.
He did.
They would throw him under the bus as fast as they can.
Yeah.
We didn't win that shit because of
He
AD, bro.
took in a Delonte West after he slept.
And that's
with his mother.
another thing, like, they always try to bring Michael Jordan's like, oh, he's an asshole to people. I'm talking about basketball here, okay? I don't care. I'm not talking about him in his home life. I'm not talking about him at parties or whatever, like, him being a dickhead to, who the heck was it? Ja Rule and them or whatever. I don't care.
Yeah. Did you see the video in Paris where like the kid was like, LeBron?
Yeah, he's like,
Get
go!
out of the way! Like, screamed at him.
So I'm like, yeah, what no one wants to talk
It's
about
like,
that.
go! Like, oh my god.
Yeah, that kid was like terrified of them.
He's like, no, I won't sign.
Steph Curry win another chip, be better than LeBron? Legacy?
No,
No?
I don't think. I think Steph is already the greatest point guard of all time.
Magic disrespect.
Dude,
I think I think Steph's won.
Bro,
Also.
Magic played 11 years. He went to the finals 9 times. That's crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
Steph
was
Curry
the
changed basketball forever.
That's
He
because
was
you
a
can't do what
unanimous
Magic
MVP.
does.
Huh?
You can't do what Magic does.
And you can't do what Steph does.
Yeah, but you can try. You can't even
No,
try
you can't
what
even
Magic
try.
does.
You can't even hit a turnaround fadeaway 3 with the
You can't.
clock going
What
down.
did
and
Magic do
splash.
besides be a 6'8" point guard?
That backs you down from
He-
half court.
Has the most assists per game of all time.
Okay.
Still. Even now with this
Assists
130
per
possession
game?
per game.
Is it based off of 130 possessions, or is it statistic
No, it's
throughout a season? I'm pretty sure it's John Stockton at 13.9.
if Magic played as long as John Stockton, he'd have more assists.
That's what.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So assists per game, Magic Johnson has more.
I'm talking like statistics. like
I'm
what
not
is-
talking one season. I'm talking for a career.
Like that's like saying
assists
like
per
if
game.
Michael Jordan played till he's 60,
All right, but Michael
he would have had
Magic
40,000 points.
Magic Johnson had like 23s. Steph Curry makes that in one game.
What does that matter?
We're just pulling out stats that only help Magic, so I'm
No,
pulling out
I'm
ones
not.
that only help Steph.
I'm
But what I'm
saying
saying is like
your point guard facilitates for your team. He gets the offense going. Magic Johnson was the best. at
You
that.
tell me Steph Curry doesn't get the Warriors going?
Not like Magic.
I don't know, man.
bro,
What?
his off ball like presence, just being off ball, draws attention to 2 people like that leaves somebody else open. Like it's just not him being able to facilitate for somebody because he has the ball in his hands. Steph Curry's ability to run around the court has allowed the creator, like the space,
All right.
to be created.
Let's take
So,
that
like-
let's take that same thought process, right? Magic can't shoot threes like you guys are implying, and he's still getting these guys open. So with the space
Okay.
more compact,
But I'm saying
he's
Steph
still
is
getting these
doing that
assists.
without the ball, and he's doing it with the ball. He's getting double teamed without the ball, and he's being double teamed with the ball. Like they've literally, like I think prime Steph was probably one of the most unstoppable players I've ever seen in my life. Like I don't think I've ever seen, like I think that was the closest to what people thought of Michael Jordan growing up watching Michael Jordan. Like, oh my God, this dude is like a god. That's what I felt like watching Steph Curry. Like I was just
I
like,
agree.
holy shit,
He was
this
great.
dude is literally a fucking video game.
But that's
Like-
literally something you can't even compare with Magic because we weren't even there. So we're like counting off a guy from something we couldn't even witness.
I mean, from the person what I've seen, I think Steph is like, I've seen footage of Magic Johnson and he fucking gets the ball and then he just backs you down all the way down. That's not happening today. Like you're getting fucking
You don't think Magic
Basic.
could post up Trey Young or Steph?
yeah. Anybody
Or-
could
Someone-
post up
What are
Trey
you
Young.
talking about?
Nowadays, someone's gonna help.
All right, then nowadays Magic's averaging 20 assists per game.
No, not even
If
close.
someone's helping, Magic is literally Jokic.
Okay, but I'm
No.
saying like
What do you mean
small
no?
forwards.
Larry Bird's
small
more
forward.
Jokic than Magic is Jokic. IQ wise,
Yeah.
I think Larry Bird has a higher IQ than Magic, and he was a better all-around rounded player than Magic, and that's
That's
why I
right.
think Jokic is more of a Larry.
But what
Bird.
I was saying was, I feel like a shooting guard, small forward, even power, they're more athletic and can move, and they could just go guard Magic themselves. They wouldn't have to be Trae Young.
You don't think they were athletic back then?
I think people
Not
like
now.
What do you mean not like? Oh my
I think-
gosh, get out of here!
I think people think like talking about past basketball is like, well, Magic was a 6'9" point guard, but it's just like.
I think that's unfair.
Like
For being honest.
wow,
That's
yeah, that was
unfair.
that was
Because-
great for the time. Like yes, he was a 6'9" point guard. Like we've never seen that before. But now we have 4 or 5 point guards on one team that are bringing the ball up. You have like Steph Curry. You have Draymond. He can bring the ball up for you, and he can drop a triple double like no other too. You have Klay Thompson. He'll bring the ball up. You have freaking
Jokic. He's a
Jokic.
center who can play point
Jokic
guard.
will bring the ball up. You have.
I don't
Whoever's
see that.
bringing the ball down most likely will bring the ball up the court, unless you're an unathletic big man.
I don't see the argument here.
I'm saying is
He's saying that
there are more
people
Magic
nowadays-
Johnsons
yeah.
in today's league than there is.
What is that?
Steph Curry.
What are you?
Steph
are you
Curry.
implying Magic had the ball in his hand like 90% of the time?
He was a point guard.
No, Luka, James Harden, those guys had the ball in their hand way more than Magic ever did.
Right, but look at look at Magic or look at Luka, look at James Harden in the prime of his career when they had the ball in their hands majority of the time. What were their averages with assists, even with points? They were averaging 11, 12, 13 assists a game. They were averaging
while dropping 20,
while dropping
points.
30 points.
Let's talk possessions per game then, because in the 80s you probably got like 60. Compared to now, you get like 95. What are we talking about here?
I think there were more possessions per game back then than there was now, because I believe that a lot of the basketball in the 80s and 90s, or more 80s, 70s, and 80s, were more fast break. You get the ball and you're running and then you're just going. Where now it's like you're setting up actual plays, you're running out the 24 seconds. I think possessions per game is lower than the 80s.
And I disagree with that, because now it won't even need to be a fast break. You just pull up to 3, shoot it with 15 on the clock.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about here?
I'm just saying, like, from what I've seen, like, a lot of the footage I've seen, I haven't watched full games, like, consistently from the 80s and 90s, but a lot of those games that I would see is, like, you're grabbing that rebound and you're running down as fast as you can to the court, and you're either passing it or you're going for the layup. And it's like, I think the game is a lot more, it's more fast-paced, but I feel like a lot more strategical than it is today, or than what it was.
But in your sentence right there, you literally have to miss the shot every time for it to be a fast break every time.
Yeah.
I think shooting wasn't
What do you mean, yeah?
shooting wasn't as efficient back then, so they were missing more shots.
Shooting was more efficient.
Not only certain players, but
Shooting
overall,
was more efficient because they were shooting
In the post.
6-foot shots. They were shooting mainly mid-rangers or layups.
So you're telling
So
me
what's the problem here? I don't know what you guys are arguing.
who wins the one-on-one, Steph Curry or Magic Johnson?
What do we play it? Like, make it take it?
Sure.
Then I think Magic's cooking him.
You're crazy.
How? He literally just has to get the ball, back him down, and it's over.
Okay, but Steph gets the ball first.
He just has to miss one. And then it's Magic's game from there on. You think Steph's going to make, what are we playing, 11? He's going to make 6 threes in a row?
It's one-on-one, yes. He
No.
can do that easy.
No, he cannot do it easily. Magic's not just going to
He
stand
made,
there.
50 shots in a row without
With
missing?
nobody there.
One guy.
Nobody was there. He was just shooting them.
So 1980s possessions per game were 102.2. Today, 2010s and 2020s, 95 and 99 possessions per game.
Dang,
What was
120.2?
102.2, my bad. I think I said 120.
102 compared to what, 90 you said?
95 in the 2010, so that was like 2015 was this, or 2014 was the start of Golden State's era. Then 2020s are 99.5. So only 3 possessions per game from 2020, but still.
It is less than the 80s.
It's less. But my point was never, like, Magic was just not shooting as much.
I'm not saying Magic wasn't great.
I didn't say Steph wasn't great. I'm just saying.
But
Magic's more successful, so therefore Magic's better.
So Robert Horry is better small forward than Kevin
he's
Durant.
more successful by one ring, though.
1 ring and like 4 more appearances
I mean, appearances matter a lot.
in a shorter amount of time.
So why?
I'm not even going to dignify what you said, by the way.
I'm
What did you
asking.
say?
I said, so Robert Horry is more successful than Kevin Durant?
No, because like, all right, let's break it down by points, right? Let's say a ring is 1 point.
Yeah.
Let's say an MVP is 1 point.
Yeah.
Let's say
Does Magic have
making
MVP?
to the finals is 1 point.
What?
Magic has more of all those things.
Why is that a point?
Because he still made it.
So what?
All right, let's say that
So LeBron's
making it is
got-
1 point, winning it is 2 points, winning an MVP is 1.5. How about that? Is that better?
Okay, but who had more impressive? The Warriors' 2020 championship run. It impresses me to no end. Like,
Because you were there.
it doesn't matter.
If you were back
that
there in
team-
the Lakers,
that
you'd be like,
team-
man, that Lakers team that won.
That
went
team
15-3 was
But
great, man.
the Lakers always had a good team. Not
The
saying-
Warriors had a good team.
That 2020 team, Steph carried that team to that chip.
What team?
The 2020 team.
And?
So I think that championship ring was more impressive than any of Magic's.
The
Right.
one where they beat Boston? That one, 2022?
Yeah.
All right, let's say Michael Jordan doesn't exist.
Mm-hmm.
Magic literally takes a team Kareem-less to the finals and wins. Does that make a difference?
What makes you think they win?
Why would they lose?
I mean, who would they have faced? Who
They
did
would have faced the Pistons.
You don't think the Pistons could beat them?
I don't know.
Okay, so you're just saying these are hypotheticals.
All right, but I'm just saying you're saying Steph dragged a team to win when that's not even fair towards Magic because Magic didn't have to drag a team. They were just dominant.
But that was
With
one of the
Magic
most
sitting in
stacked
the chair.
teams in history.
Why is it one of the most stacked
And
teams?
that's why,
Kareem
like,
was an
I don't get
old man at that
His
point.
rookie
And they
year,
didn't
he had
win it.
Kareem
They did win it.
Jabbar.
Okay,
Yes, they did have Kareem.
Kareem as
Could
an
you
old
imagine
man.
Steph Curry with Kareem in his first year?
I can. He had Kevin Durant.
In his first year in the NBA?
Not his first year, but I'm just saying. All right, that's another good point. Kareem got hurt the first year, and he still won the chip.
He got hurt in the playoffs.
He got hurt in the finals, and they still won
He
the
got
chip. You're
hurt
playing
in
the best
Western
team,
Conference Finals.
and you're playing the best team, and this rookie became the Finals MVP. What are we talking about here?
I'm just saying, dude, that team has a nickname for a reason because they were that stacked.
Or they were that good.
Okay, because
All right, well, so you're implying that Warriors team with Clay, Steph, Draymond, Andre Iguodala, Kevin Durant. They're not that great because they don't have a nickname.
no, that team. I'm talking. That's why I'm saying the 2022 team
Well, what does it matter?
because that's just like that's an impressive run, and then also they have a ring before that without KD.
Okay. So Magic gets penalized for
I'm not
still
saying he's
winning.
penalized.
No, I'm saying you guys keep throwing Kareem up. He gets penalized for winning with this old man
No.
at the end and winning without him in the beginning, but he still gets penalized for that.
No, because we're doing we're saying individual things. You're the one that keeps bringing up the finals things, which is a team accolade.
You just said the
Because I'm trying to counter your finals arguments.
All
But
right.
we were saying that Steph just individually, I think, is better than Magic.
And your only argument is he makes more threes.
That's not that.
No, makes more threes, facilitates the with and without the ball, changed the whole concept of basketball as we know it.
What's the most Steph's ever averaged in assists? 7?
Okay.
What's the most Magic's ever done? Like 14?
Okay, what's the most points Magic's ever averaged?
Probably like 20 something.
Okay, and Steph averaged 30 something multiple times.
Maybe he done it once. He has not done it
I
multiple
think
times.
his unanimous MVP averaged like 31.
His unanimous MVP, I don't even think he averaged 30. Because it had been a minute. I think James Harden was like the first guy to average 30 in a while.
Yeah, that was in like 2012.
No, it was 2012. He was still in Oklahoma.
I think I truly just believe I think if you put Magic in today's system in the NBA, it's not going to work because you live and die by the three.
You know
in
how
the
you know it
NBA.
doesn't work? Because who is Magic Johnson of today?
Jokic?
Benjamin
Simmons.
Simmons,
Yeah.
yep.
Not even close.
Bro,
My
it's 6'9"
God.
point guard. You can't tell me Ben Simmons wasn't good those first couple years.
He wasn't.
Come on.
He got found out.
LeBron is just a Magic Johnson with the jump shot.
No, I like God couldn't shoot at all. Nothing crazy.
Bro hit three pointers in his career.
That's Shaq numbers, bro.
Hey,
Shaq hit a buzzer beater half court shot. Like, that was his only three.
Magic shot 30% from the three. For his
That's
career.
you ain't making it in the league with 30%.
I was gonna
As a
say,
point guard.
Where's his 50, 80, 90?
As a
season,
name
bro?
one point guard in the NBA today
All right,
that
but
shoots
hold on.
30% from three and is successful.
His last 3
Name one.
seasons, he shot 38%, 32%, 38%.
Where's his
Jason Tatum shoots 36%.
All right, so Magic
He's trash at three.
Where's his
Magic's
People
a
say
better
he's,
three-point shooter.
Where's
They
his
say
50,
he's
70,
garbage.
90, bro?
Hmm?
Said, where's his 50, 70, 90, bro?
yeah.
50, 70, 90?
Yeah.
What does it matter?
Because that's
That's
Steph's
2
done it.
points.
Yeah, Steph's done it.
Where's Steph's 13 assists per game, 12, 13
But like
again,
I said,
12.2,
the
12.8,
game wasn't
11.9.
the game at that time
If
wasn't.
it was
an
so
all-star
easy,
game.
why wasn't everyone doing
There
it?
was also no ISO ball back then. It was straight
There was
screens
ISO
and
ball back
passing.
then.
You always passed the ball back then. It was It was the Spurs.
Why wasn't
Every
anybody-
team was the
Alright,
Spurs back then.
Everybody had a Tim Duncan, a Ginobili,
No, I'm
and a
saying
Tony
everybody.
Parker.
Everybody was passing it for 5 times a possession.
Except for John Stockton. Tell me another guy who averaged 10 assists per game in the 80s.
Michael Jordan.
That's my point right there, Chad.
Okay.
Y'all make it seem like it's easy. You got no one else to do with it.
Why could a shooting guard who averaged 30 points do it?
James Harden? Because, like I said, the ball's in his hand 80% of the game.
Same with Magic.
It's not the same
Yes,
with
it
Magic.
is. It's the same exact
No.
thing.
Okay, you're building a franchise, both in their prime. You taking James Harden or are you taking Magic Johnson?
Taking Magic Johnson.
Why'd you have to think about
Because I'm trying to think, like, what are we playing here? Y'all
I'm just
keep
saying.
making
Well-
it seem like Magic would come to the league not knowing how to dribble and, like, can't even get
No,
off the
but-
bench.
I personally
Personally
with dribbling, this is what I'll say. I've seen Magic Johnson do a spin move with the same hand. He
Right.
literally.
Okay.
I've seen that.
But
So
let's counter. here.
Allen Iverson was the first player in the league to be able to put his hand on the side of the ball and do a crossover. So you're
Right.
telling me that Magic Johnson is
Hold
going to be
on.
able to do a crossover in today's league?
That's a great point you just made there. Magic literally couldn't put his hand on the side of the ball, or it's called a carry.
Right.
So you put Steph in that era, and he can't
We're
dribble
today.
because. All right,
Not the past.
we're playing
We're
today.
today.
If we're playing today, Magic can do all of this stuff.
But could he?
I think he could.
That's the thing.
Magic got
He
bigger
could.
hands
I
than these
could.
guys.
I mean, I could
Okay,
do it.
without hypotheticals, we gotta take these out of the question. We're just talking about accolades and watching them play. I just pick Steph. I feel
Right.
like Steph's the best.
If we're talking who dominated their era more, it's not even a question.
What?
How is it a question?
One more ring gets you that much?
One more ring, way more appearances, shorter amount of time.
What's way more appearances?
He went to the finals 9 times.
Okay, and Steph went what, 6, 7?
He went, 5?
No, because they won 4 and they lost 2.
So you can
What
say
team
the
did they
same thing
lose?
about.
They lost to Toronto and the Cleveland.
So we're
Okay.
talking. If we're talking purely accolades, you said Magic went to the finals 9 times.
9 times.
I'm pretty sure LeBron did that.
Yeah.
He's won 4, so he's one short of that. But has 4 MVPs. He's made it to the Eastern Conference Finals and the Finals almost 10 years in a row. Are you saying Magic is worse than LeBron?
I'm saying LeBron isn't about Magic's aura. Aura.
So where's Steph?
Steph's under it.
No.
But you were just asking us, does one more ring put Steph over LeBron?
Because think about it. Then he has 5.
So does
He's
he
been
put it
there
over
8
Magic?
times. Arguably.
Well, so how far is Magic and LeBron then?
I know that's
Because you said one more
gap.
ring puts Steph above LeBron, but maybe Magic.
yeah.
It's arguable. I didn't say it definitively put Steph over LeBron. I asked the question if it did.
It's an argument that Steph's above LeBron now. Because he dominated LeBron's era. Steph Curry dominated the LeBron era.
I'll just say it, man. Magic is slept on.
He's not slept on. You just say he's the greatest point guard of all time.
All right,
and a
but
lot
look-
of people will say he's a
Look
greatest
how
top
hard
player.
I have to argue this. It shouldn't even
Against
be a debate.
one guy.
Shouldn't even be a debate.
It's a no debate he's top 3.
No, it's no debate. He won.
Look. Magic.
I just don't... When we're talking player versus player, I get rings are important, but sometimes people make it too important.
I'm not even just saying the rings. I brought up his assists.
That's it. Assist and rings and appearances.
All right. The man was averaging like 22 points, 13 assists. That's crazy.
Freaking James Harden did that in a month. He
What
averaged
is-
like 45 and 15
It's a
one month,
different
and I was
league.
like, exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a different league.
All right.
Even with James Harden, with the ball in his hand, majority of the time, probably as much as Magic Johnson had the ball in his hands, averaged freaking 34 points and 11 assists
Look this
in
up
a
here.
season.
And I would argue that, 80s was more of a big man league. So, a point guard doing all that stuff was kind of unheard of. So it was able to stick out more. Now, you got all these guys who can do these things.
Right now,
they
it's
have to-
unheard of.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I'm saying, what Steph and, James Harden did those few years on top of, competing with all these guys who were doing similar things, but they had to stand out. It's even more impressive.
Do you see kids in the gym dribbling the ball up like Magic Johnson, or do you see them shooting 3-pointers every freaking possession like Steph Curry?
Again.
See, I feel like that's going to make him say, Steph ruined the league more than anything.
He keeps comparing stuff that I wasn't alive for to stuff right now.
Okay, but you weren't alive for any of Magic's stuff either.
What are you talking about?
Why are you putting Magic so high if you weren't there to watch that?
Because I am not putting my personal bias in. I'm
Well,
thinking
Steph Curry,
of
the
time.
best that you've ever seen live. Point guard.
Point guard, live, yes.
He's the GOAT.
Okay, but then why, we weren't really alive for most of Michael Jordan's greatness, but we're still yeah, he was the greatest.
Exactly. What are you getting at there?
But that's what I'm saying is, I'm not putting my bias on it either, because I could say that about Michael Jordan, but then also say it about Steph.
I don't even know what you're saying. Right?
Because you were saying, I have a bias because I watched Steph live. But
No,
if that
I'm
was the
saying-
case, wouldn't I say LeBron's the greatest?
I'm saying some of your guys' arguments are stuff that doesn't translate back then.
Exactly.
Okay, but
All right, but it's the same thing with Steph. If you
Because
take Steph back
you
then, he's not
literally
as
had-
healthy, and he can't dribble the way he dribbles now.
you literally had a league in 2013 prior to that where it was a league that it was just the same that it's been for 20 plus years.
plus, didn't they play way less games back then?
No. They didn't. No, it's been 82 game season for a long time.
What I'm saying is it's been the same. It was the same league from 2013 all the way back to 1998, where it's the same league of the players just not really creating or being creative on the league, and then you have Steph Curry come in and literally revolutionize basketball. There are 4 players that I think that truly changed basketball forever. I do think Magic and Larry changed it just because of the rivalry made the NBA blow up. And you obviously have Michael Jordan. He made it global. Allen Iverson is the one that made it a cultural game. And then you have Steph Curry. Those are your 4 or
Right.
5.
All right. But based on that argument right there, is Allen Iverson one of the greatest of all time because he changed the game of basketball?
Well, the thing with Steph is he has the accolades to back it up also, though.
All right. And Magic has better ones.
But he didn't
What
change
I
it.
say is Allen Iverson, if Allen Iverson was on a better team other than that 76ers team that he carried to the freaking finals, I don't think Magic could have carried that team to the NBA finals if it could have been. But I do think Allen Iverson is one of the greatest basketball players of all time. Would I say he's top 5? No. But
Would
his
you say he's
impact,
top 20?
Yeah, for sure. I would even go in the stretch.
20 is
that
a
he's-
lot.
I would say I would go in the realm of possibly 15.
Dude,
Allen Iverson, yeah.
Allen Iverson's one of my favorite players ever. He's 2 to J.R. Smith.
That's the weirdest thing you'd ever say.
Hey,
Two
I
favorite
wear it
basketball
proudly.
players.
J.R. Smith's my favorite.
I love
player.
J.R. Smith too, but it's just weird hearing that.
Allen Iverson not top 20.
That's crazy.
He's
It's-
not. Is he better than Tim Duncan?
Tim Duncan's top 10.
Is he better than KG? Is he better than LeBron, Magic, Bird, Hakeem Olajuwon?
These are all top 10 guys.
Yeah,
Or
we're naming
very-
top 10.
I'm going to get out of it in a minute. Is he better than Kevin Durant? Let me think.
Exactly.
John
that's where we're
Stockton, Karl Malone,
He's better
Charles
than, I think he's
Barkley.
better than Stockton in my opinion. Like I said, I think the skill level is just at a completely different time than where John Stockton or Magic Johnson was. Where skill level is an important factor in today's NBA. Where it's if I freaking put Kyrie Irving in 1980, people are gonna freaking think he's doing witchcraft the way he's freaking doing
But he
reverse
wouldn't be-
layups and stuff.
All right, that would be great. But he'd just be George Gervin.
No, bro. You put Kyrie Irving in the 80s.
No, because you
He's
guys
10-time unanimous MVP.
You guys are putting Kyrie Irving doing all this when you can't.
I'm talking about Kyrie Irving right now.
Yeah, and he can't dribble the way he does in the 80s.
Exactly. But like,
So
the
they
skill-
have
the
restrictions.
skill level. But that's what I'm saying. The skill
It's not
level,
a skill level. It's they loosen the laws level. It's not.
Yes, but I'm saying like if you put Kyrie in the 80s, people are gonna be like he can still shoot a three. He can still freaking finish around the rim. Like yes, he can do all of that. Even if he keeps his freaking hand on top of the ball, he can still shoot a three from half court. But if you put Magic Johnson in 2024, he's just a glorified Ben Simmons. He cannot shoot a three.
He
can
can't
take
shoot
the-
a three.
30%.
No, his career is
Bro,
30%.
people
You gotta
dog-
remember, they brought in the three Magic's rookie year. He's supposed to just be splashing
Like-
from the start.
Like I'm saying,
What are we talking
like
about
I'm saying,
here?
Jason Tatum gets dogged on for how crap he is at 3-point shooters. He shoots 38% from three. He's considered a crap. Dude, if you're not shooting 40% or higher, you're not considered a good shooter. People will dog on you. So if you're shooting 33%, bro, you're Ben Simmons. You're Ben
No,
Simmons in today's league.
you guys are comparing a guy who shot 30 for his career, more like 36, 7-ish near the end, to a guy who shot 3 total threes. What are you talking about?
I'm just saying, like, I've even seen a video of Michael Jordan doing a behind the back dribble, and announcers are like, holy shit, do you see what he just did? Oh my god. Bro, could you imagine what today's NBA players would do in the 80s?
They'd not be heard of because they couldn't get on the court because everything they're doing is traveling.
No.
You guys are like holding the 80s guys
But
to
you're
this
also
like
holding
restriction.
the 80s guys to think that they could just go in and
No.
freaking dribble like Kyrie, Kevin Durant.
I'm not
freaking-
saying they
You're
could.
saying like freaking
I'm
Kareem
saying-
Abdul-Jabbar in 2024 would be dribbling up the court like Kevin Durant and splashing threes.
I'm just
Bro
saying.
is posting up. And nobody's posting up in 2024.
If they
Your
couldn't-
game is expired, bro.
If they couldn't rip Magic dribbling with his hand on top of the ball and your hand on his hip, why would they be able to rip him now?
Look, I understand like the whole hand on the hip thing, but hand checking is a thing today. Like, I don't know if you, bro, you look at Jokic's arms at the end of games, he's scratched up. You're telling me that he's
Yeah.
not getting fouled every play?
No, I'm saying he's not
Steph
getting
Curry
hand
literally,
checked.
dude, I literally, in the 2022 finals, I literally watched Al Horford have his hand on Steph Curry's chest a whole possession, and he was cooking and fucking splashed a three in fucking Al Horford's face, and I was like, what the fuck? So you're saying hand checking was a thing back in the 80s,
No.
and it's not as physical as it is today.
It's not.
I literally saw fucking Al Horford's hand on fucking Steph Curry's chest for 24 seconds straight.
Alright.
Literally holding him, and he couldn't control
Is his hand on him? Like he's
him.
touching him?
Literally, he is like
Alright.
holding him.
Alright, let me
Like,
finish
I'm
now.
not-
Let me finish. There's a difference between this and I can guide you where you're going from holding your hip.
Yeah, and that still happens today.
No, that's why Kenny Smith got taken out of a whole series because Derek Harper wouldn't let him move.
In what year?
The 94 finals.
Okay.
Kenny Smith. That's who we're talking about.
Yeah, a lot of these guys
And we
are
go back to
naming.
inside the NBA.
They know it's going to be Kenny Smith in the
Yeah.
I'm just saying, just because you can shoot don't mean you can run
I
the
think
league.
hand checking still is a thing. People think that it doesn't exist, but you like the only thing you can do for Steph Curry is freaking put your hand on his hips or freaking try to guide him whatever way, but he's gonna do whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Because it's Steph Curry.
Because he's great. He's the second greatest point guard of all
He's the
time.
greatest. He's the GOAT, man.
What are you talking about?
The future is now, old man.
Okay, but you put LeBron in high regards because of his longevity.
Me?
Yeah.
No, I don't.
That's the only accolade you give him.
I mean, sure, his longevity's great, but it doesn't move him up anymore for me.
So then what puts him top 5 for you?
He's successful. Wait, who said top 5 now? No one said that.
I swear you said 5 or 6 last time me, you, and Derrick talked about it.
Maybe 7. I think Shaq's better than LeBron. said it. What do you got to say now, Matt? Huh? What now? Larry Bird greater than LeBron? Huh?
No. No, I'll admit that.
I don't know. I think pure player-wise, I think Larry's better. He just didn't have the longevity or success.
I can agree.
I think Larry Bird gets disrespected.
He does. The way
people talk about him now, dude. People act like Larry Bird was some chump.
I'm out of here.
I'm telling you, bro. These analysts and younger
Magic's
kids.
not disrespected, but Larry Bird is disrespected.
I don't hear people talking about Magic the way these kids nowadays talk about Larry Bird. They're literally like, oh, this white nerdy dude, he was probably trash. I'm like, go watch his games. They put Larry Bird like 30th in a ranking I seen the other day.
I just think, so for me, I think you don't have to have or be the most skilled player. I even say this, in, like I said, like you have to have skill in today's game. But if you have the IQ of basketball and you understand the game of basketball where you can control a game, like I only think like a handful of players can do that, and you can play in any era that you want to. And I think Larry Bird is one of those players. Like even though he wasn't the most athletic person, like he had the IQ to dominate you in whatever way you wanted to. He could pass the ball, he could rebound, and he could shoot. And there's only a handful of players that I think can absolutely do that. And Larry Bird's one. Jokic is one. LeBron has the IQ of that as well. And like I think Ja Morant honestly is one of those guys too. Ja Morant I think has arguably the highest IQ in the NBA right now. But yeah. Other than
I've never heard that
really
before.
Really, dude, I truly believe Ja Morant is one of the smartest.
You didn't say basketball IQ, you just said IQ.
Street smarts maybe not, alright? Basketball IQ. Yeah. But yeah, Larry Bird, disrespected. Magic,
Alright.
just a glorified Benz.
But where does Richard Jefferson rank in our go?
Top 5 baldies for sure.
Top 5. I don't even know about that.
Oh man.
He better than Vince Carter, Michael Jordan, KG, Shaq.
We're talking about came into the league with a bald head. Richard Jefferson, the only one. Derrick Rose might have had a bald head coming into the league. I don't know. He came in.
Derrick Rose?
I think he came into the league with a bald head.
I don't think he did.
I swear he did, bro.
What about Mike Bibby? He was pretty bald. Looking like Elmer Fudd from Space Jam.
He didn't come in bald though.
Yeah, that's true.
Richard Jefferson was bald at like 13, I bet.
Doesn't he have the same thing as what's his name from he used to be the Cardinals quarterback?
Alopecia.
Yeah.
Who?
Richard Jefferson.
He doesn't have alopecia. I think
he had hair.
No, because he has eyebrows.
I think he had hair his rookie year, actually. His picture in 2K, he has hair.
I can't picture him with hair. I'm not gonna lie.
Just say it.
Didn't ESPN fire him? Even though he's like one of their
really?
funniest
No,
guys?
I didn't know that.
Oh, they didn't? I can't believe they let RG3 go though.
Allen Iverson's not top 20 still.
Crazy, man.
I mean, I feel like the amount of guys you named, you only got to like 14.
I wasn't done. Did I even name Steph Curry or Russell Westbrook?
No.
Why is Russ up there?
Why?
Come on, bro.
Why
He's
is that?
asking. He has 0 rings. He just has 2.
Allen Iverson also has 0 rings. What are we talking about?
Yeah, but he's actually made it to a finals.
Russ made it to a final.
Without Kevin Durant and James Harden.
Oh shit, he looks weird as hell. He looks like he was on the Coach Carter movie.
He's one of the troubled kids on the bench, bro.
Yeah.
He's one of the freaking extras.
If Allen Iverson and Russell Westbrook traded places, you implying the Thunder still go to the finals?
Did the Sixers still go to the finals?
Yeah, do the Sixers go to the finals?
I think they have a shot.
I mean, I love Westbrook.
That East was so bad.
I won't take any Westbrook slander.
I do love Westbrook, man. But I think he's better, or Allen Iverson is better.
I can't agree with that. Westbrook is a generational talent that we might never see again.
I agree. So is Allen Iverson.
Man, I just remember, man, them like 2015 to 2019 Russell Westbrook, some of my favorite basketball.
Yeah.
I think they're basically like the same guy.
In different ways, I think. I think Russ was so much more explosive. Pause. But but I think, yeah, I agree. They're neck and neck. They're 19 and 20. They're 19 and 20.
Kawhi Leonard better than both of them.
Can't touch the court, Kawhi Leonard.
Hey, but when
Speaking
he
of,
does,
he's out for like indefinitely. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
when Kawhi does touch the court, arguably the best.
Yeah, just beat a Achilles-less Kevin Durant and a torn ACL Klay Thompson in 2019.
Hey,
I could have beat that team.
he still beat LeBron in his prime. The only guy LeBron looked back and said, "Fuck," when he checked it.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I do wish we could have seen Kawhi's career without all the injuries.
Y'all being for real? Kawhi's not better than both of them.
Better than Westbrook and
I put
and
Westbrook.
Allen Iverson.
Yeah.
Westbrook's pretty high for me. I'm not gonna lie.
Bro.
I think Westbrook, bro. I'd honestly put Westbrook over Magic. like truly thinking about it,
It's insane.
bro.
I'm just
truly
saying, man.
thinking
Kawhi
about
Leonard
it.
never did something that might never ever be done again.
2-time Defensive Player of the Year.
Rudy Gobert
2
has
times
3.
Finals MVP.
LeBron has 4.
What is your point
Draymond
here?
Green. I'm
What is
pretty
your
sure.
point? What do you?
I never said Kawhi was as good as LeBron.
Draymond
Okay,
has
but-
2 Defensive Players of the Year.
Yeah, but he don't have
He's
the other
got 4
thing.
rings.
But has Kawhi Leonard
We
ever
don't have
averaged
the
a
other
triple
things.
double for a season? Multiple seasons?
No. He can go back out of the
Where's
first
Kawhi
round.
Leonard's MVP? Nowhere.
He's not healthy enough. But he can get out of the first round.
He used to be.
Russell Westbrook, Iverson, Trace McGrady.
You see, there you go back to team things. We're talking about player accolades, and you go back to team accolades.
All right. So basketball's played one-on-one now?
No, but
All right, so what are we talking about?
we're talking about
You're playing. If Kawhi,
you can't get past people in the playoffs by yourself.
Kawhi can.
No, we can't.
You can. All right. Kawhi took that Raptors team, right? Not a bad team. Pascal Siakam, Fred VanVleet. Are they as good as Paul George, Steven Adams, Carmelo Anthony? Russell Westbrook couldn't get out of the
Don't
first
talk
round with
about
that team.
Carmelo Anthony like he's prime Melo now.
I know.
He
And
played like 5 more years after that.
Paul George is a certified playoff choke artist, and we know this.
So was Westbrook.
He does not put up bad numbers in the playoffs. He just nobody else helps him.
Ricky Rubio cooked his ass.
Ricky Rubio.
What are we talking about? A rookie Donovan Mitchell cooked his ass.
Because you're telling me when the Thunder lost in the finals, that's Westbrook's fault?
If Kawhi was there, I don't know if it
What
was.
what does that have to do with
Did you
it?
trade the two? I'm just saying. I don't know.
Trade Kawhi and Westbrook or Kawhi and KD?
Kawhi and Westbrook.
I think Kawhi had the
Okay.
luckiest bounce in NBA history that carried
That's
him
fair.
to a
I was
championship.
gonna say, and
That's
you're
fair.
also not talking about Kawhi had Tim Duncan, Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, his first ring.
Old men.
Old men.
They were.
The most reliable old men of all
I was
time.
gonna say,
I'm just
old
saying.
men cooking LeBron, Dwayne Wade, and freaking.
And Kawhi was a part of it.
He was,
He was a
but
big part of it.
That's what I'm saying is, you're acting like Kawhi won these rings himself.
I'm not. I'm just saying Kawhi could get the job done.
So is Melo better than Kawhi?
No.
What makes Kawhi so high on your list? The
He-
rings?
He's top 20.
He's got 2 rings. He's got 2 Finals MVPs. He's got 2 Defensive Player of the Years. What else do I need?
Iguodala's better than Kawhi then.
Now he ain't got nothing except 1 All-Star.
Finals MVP.
Yeah, he's got 8
And a
Finals
ring.
MVPs.
He's got 3 rings.
He's got 4 rings,
4. So he's better than Kawhi.
all off the bench.
Finals MVP.
He started in the one he won Finals MVP.
Finals
He
MVP
eventually
against
started.
a prime LeBron.
No, Kawhi took on prime LeBron.
What?
He did.
Why did
Miami's
the Warriors?
LeBron was prime.
No, I think second stint Cleveland is prime LeBron.
Get out.
2018 LeBron was like.
That was. You get a stimulus package. Right. And the weakest East that he faced the whole time.
Hey! Isaiah Thomas and Marcus Smart and Jaylen Brown were great. I don't know what you're talking
No. Isaiah Thomas, bro.
about. Man.
He's better than Magic also, isn't he, in your opinion?
Don't disrespect Isaiah Thomas in that run.
At
It was
one
pretty cold.
point, he was.
At one point, he was outplaying Kyrie Irving when he was on the Kings.
No.
He was.
No, he
I
wasn't.
watched a whole video about it. Derrick was sleeping, and I was bored, so I watched a whole YouTube video about how Isaiah Thomas is better than Kyrie Irving at the time, and they backed it up. He
It did not.
had better efficiency. He was right on par with him in points per game. He was right on par with him with assists per game. The only thing Kyrie had more was rebounds.
You know what Isaiah Thomas had that Magic Johnson didn't have? Mark.
Yeah, let me
Did
see.
Magic Johnson drop 50 after his sister died?
Let me see Isaiah Thomas
Speaking of
get
that,
AIDS and then try to come back into the league.
hey, that just shows you Isaiah Thomas was faithful. He wasn't cheating on his
Yep.
wife.
It just shows he wasn't
How does that show anything?
He wasn't
So
chilling.
nobody in the NBA cheats on their wife.
He
'cause they
wasn't
don't
chilling
have
at
AIDS.
Hugh Hefner's house half the days.
That's the LeBron argument. You got to bring up outside stuff.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah,
Did Magic Johnson build schools and give his wife a cooking show like Steph Curry?
Magic Johnson founded.
Magic's the first ever entrepreneur basketball player. Well, not first, but superstar to do it.
What
I
was
don't
his
know.
businesses?
Magic Johnson Enterprises.
'Cause that was so successful.
It was.
Never heard of it.
I've never heard of it.
Because we don't live in LA. But look at him now. He owns the he's a part owner of the Dodgers, part owner of the Commanders.
Have you
Man's
ever
doing stuff.
heard of the one basketball player that I forget his
Owns
name.
the Wendy's.
No, he was offered 10% of Nike stock
Spencer
or
Haywood.
or $100,000, and he took $100,000. Bro, he just said he'd be worth like
Bro, that's
$5 billion.
That's
Well-
like Stone Cold. The boots he wears, I can't remember what they're called. Some boot brand that the one he always wore in the ring, offered him a sponsorship, and they were gonna give him $100,000 up front, and then like a 10% equity every time he was on TV with the boots or something like that. And his manager said, "No, I think we can get you an Adidas deal." And Adidas never called, and that boot company ended up being worth like $50 million.
Well, Spencer Haywood, he said he took the deal, and then his manager sold the assets because he wanted to get his pay quicker.
That's
fucked up.
Bro, you'd be like 5th richest man on earth.
Yeah, rolling in dough now.
For doing nothing either. Just
Yeah.
because he played basketball, he'd be making all this money off of Mike's name.
Yeah.
Just like LeBron. Allen Iverson's not top 20.
Alright. What a way to end the show.
Yeah.
What a great episode 1 of.
Those Ram shoes.
They are.
Yeah, Bree bought me some of the Saints ones last year.
Man, I seen these cool Nikes when I was like in high school. Never had my size.
Mm.
They were Rams. They had the little horn on there and everything.
I've seen the like ones at game time. They're just like
Oh, the like ones in the mall.
fake ass, just Rams shoes or just
I had
Bronco shoes.
my brother bought me some of the Saints ones. They look
Oh,
like they're
really?
like Nike Rouches. Or whatever.
Yeah, they
They're
kinda
all
look like
right.
the
They're
Roses.
cool. They're not
Roaches.
bad looking, but you could
Roaches.
definitely the quality's not great. But
And,
I wear them for game day sometimes.
Giannis
Yeah.
better than Allen Iverson.
Who?
Giannis.
Why do you get so loud? Who? Is Giannis-
Jokic.
Okay, what makes Kawhi better than Giannis?
I never said that.
Is he?
I don't know.
You think Jokic is top 20?
Yeah.
1 ring, 3 MVPs.
Say it so casually, like it's just easy.
No finals MVPs.
No finals MVP.
He did win finals. What are you talking about?
Just testing your knowledge here. Just testing.
Tested my knowledge. The guy who said Isaiah Thomas is better than Magic Johnson.
He was talking about Pistons, I
Yeah, even that is a slappable offense.
He met the criteria, okay? But he wasn't invited.
I get so sick of hearing that, dude. Isaiah Thomas. If we're talking players who piss me off, Isaiah Thomas is in the Mount Rushmore of that.
That's what we should do next episode. Top 5 players that piss us off.
Shit.
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
I say top 5.
Wait, you said if there's a list of players that piss me off, Isaiah Thomas is like up there.
Yeah.
I'd be down to do that. That's what we should do.
down.
Is just like list nobody else does, like funny lists like that, like list of players I can't stand to look at.
Most punchable face in the NBA.
That'd be LeBron from the left, LeBron from the right,
LeBron from the back.
LeBron straight on, or LeBron getting up off the ground after flopping.
Is we still recording?
I don't know.
Is this thing on?
Take 20.
That was pretty funny. Like we have some good content in there.
Yeah. Now you gotta start pumping out the TikToks and the shorts.
I'm not good at that, honestly.
I was gonna
Get
say
the
I kind
algorithm.
of hate that. That's like how you can get. That's basically you have to do that to get like popping nowadays.
Yeah.
Derrick said he was going to start doing that for us, but it's
Yeah.
Derrick.
It's because he like kind of moved back in with Amber. And they've been like, he gets home from work, has to take care of Celeste, and then she gets home from work, takes over, and they just like switch off. So he has like no free time.
Are
That's
they both
awkward.
in Iowa?
Illinois.
Illinois?
No, Indiana. Went right outside.
One of the
He's like an hour and a half away from Chicago.
Oh, really?
I always confuse him and Colton.
Colton's Tennessee, isn't
Yeah, but that's why it confused me.
Colton's in Tennessee.
Yeah.
he? He's a narc.
Yeah.
Yeah, he became a cop.
He said he has to do like the Titans game sometimes. He's just like standing outside and you just hear everybody having fun and stuff.
That's the other clip.
That shit sucks.
Be
man.
nice if you could be one of the cops like inside. Like.
I know.
Yeah. Still can't fucking turn your head.
I know. You know, sometimes I'm like watching them. Like someone will make like a great touchdown catch and everyone's like going crazy. And he's like, he wants to turn around so bad. I don't know what happened.
Dude, that's how I feel. Freaking went to a Celtics game in Boston in December, and we're like one of the security guards was like right fucking here, dude. And he's just like facing this crowd, and it was just like a crazy overtime fucking win. I was like, oh, dude, that sucks so fucking bad.
He's like born and raised in Boston too.
Yeah.
How do you rate TD Garden?
I mean, obviously as a fan, it was fucking awesome. But like, Nuggets games are fucking nothing compared to a fucking Celtics game.
Like the crowd wise, or
crowd
like,
wise? Dude, the crowd. I feel like the crowd dies down in fucking Denver at like the third quarter. Like you just get the third quarter and it's kind of just like, all right.
Yeah.
But Celtics games are fucking crazy, man.
I was talking like arena to arena though.
Arena. I think